One of the YWC commandments these days is thou shalt not speak ill of NXT, and I get it, because NXT is usually fantastic. But when I look at a show and I see that the best thing on the show was Asuka versus some chick I don't know, makes me think the Raw writers broke into NXT this week. Just saying.
There's gonna be a fight tonight!
Try that again without bloopers and such, because I've done this a couple times now. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal, Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your NXT review for February 3rd. Like I said in the opening, very, very lackluster show. Very, very, NXT has all the tools to be fucking amazing, and it just wasn't tonight. We started off with the Vaudevillains versus the Hype Bros. English and Mojo start with a collar and elbow tie-up, chain wrestling, and a pin reversal sequence. Snapmare by Mojo, rolling neckbreaker by Ryder, boot by English, facebuster by Ryder, front slam by Gotch on Ryder, cheap shot by English, and a mule kick in the corner on Ryder. Double team blows to the head by the Vaudevillains. Literally, they got him on his knees, and they both punched him in the head from either side, because that doesn't look incredibly staged, does it? You can tell I'm out of breath. I want to get... I don't want to sound like one of those guys that I'm just doing it for you guys. I did want to do a review of NXT because I genuinely like NXT, but I'm out of breath because I just want to get through this show because there's nothing. So, nerve hold by Gotch, proving my point, and a rope choke by English, enziguri on English by Ryder, and a toss by Gotch. 3 running shoulder tackles by Mojo off the hot tag, huge corner splash, double knees and a top rope drop kick by Ryder, whirling dervish by the Vaudevillains, and the Vaudevillains win. Nothing wrong with the match, per se, nothing exciting. Now that I've seen the Hype Bros in person and seen how entertaining they can be, they just weren't in this match. But the thing that's really, really bad about this match is I was disappointed going into the match because we've had a bunch of video clips for weeks and weeks now about the Vaudevillains giving us these big clues, these big Easter eggs, these big hints that there's going to be a change in the Vaudevillains' character. Either they're going to get darker, they're going to change gimmick entirely, or they're going to come out with something new. And they came out exactly the same, music's the same, entrance is the same, the manly gimmick is still the same. It's just that they're dicks now. So the big monumental change that we've been building up for weeks and weeks and weeks is that they're dicks. Yes, we replay a couple weeks ago Carmella becoming the #1 contender for the NXT Championship, which is nice. We do an interview in the back with Tom Phillips, which is nice. Talks about how it's kind of funny because midway through the interview, they almost look like they have realized that, oh shit, we're going to ruin kayfabe. She says she got into wrestling because her dad's a wrestler, but then they go back into the storyline where she was the hairdresser and Enzo and Cass cost her job, so they got her in, and they switched over immediately, like mid-conversation, to, and my boys. It was bad. It was trying to hump the line between reality and kayfabe, and it didn't work in my opinion, and it didn't make me give a shit about Carmella, I'll tell you that much right now. Talk about the fact that she's going to have her title match with Bayley next week, and apparently next week's NXT is going to be filmed at the University of Florida. Somebody in the Florida area, tell me if that's cool, tell me if that's a good thing, tell me if next week is an incredibly good episode and I just wasn't told, or if it's supposed to be special, but apparently that's when she gets her title shot. She's not going to get it at TakeOver Dallas, that's for damn sure. I will tell you, I've read the spoilers for the matches for Dallas, and we're getting something so much better then, so I'm really glad we're getting this out of the way now. Prediction, Carmella's going to lose that match. Oh, yes. Reminds us that we're going to get Carmella versus Emma tonight, and that we're going to get Balor versus Cruz in a non-title match for our main event. Carmella versus Hot Heel Emma is next. And Hot Heel Emma is just wasted in this match, and she's wasted on NXT in general the way they're using her, but collar and elbow tie-up is stiff. They take it to all 4 corners. They refuse to break. It's broken by the referee. Both women trade side headlocks for a while, and we get a nice takedown by Emma. Clothesline by Emma. Mounted punches by Emma. Knee to the spine as Emma works both arms. She does... I don't know what to call these things, but she has her in one position where she's wrenching back on both arms, and she's got her flat on the back where she's wrenching both arms. Working the arms is the order of the day for Emma, showing some great ring psychology, showing some evil, like, painful stuff, but also some great in-ring talent. Monkey flip into mounted punches by Carmella and a Bronco Buster by Carmella. Takedown by Emma and a messy backslide by Carmella gets the win. So here's the thing. All the things that are going to get an ooh-ah or a laugh from the crowd, like the monkey flip and the Bronco Buster, is all done by Carmella. All the wrestling in this match was done by Emma. So, fuck Carmella being the #1 contender. Just fuck it. And fuck it. We have a video package on the American Alpha, which makes me think we're going to get American Alpha in a match next, but we don't. For reasons. Starting to think my camera hates me. Oh, yes, I am. Enzo and Cass come out next. They cut out a great pissed-off promo about how they are pissed off at what happened in London. They won't be held down. Enzo had a great line. He said, if we had a dime for every time we got knocked down and didn't get back up, we would have 0 dimes. I like that. So you think they're going to challenge the champions, or they're going to take on some other major team, but no, they're up against 2 jobbers who don't have names, and they don't have names to the point of the commentators, Tom Phillips and Corey Graves, are mocking the fact that they don't know who these guys are, which is not good for them. It doesn't really do anything for Enzo and Cass. Enzo and Cass squash these guys in very, very short and very, very aggressive fashion. They look great, but it ultimately doesn't matter. So they squashed some guys for reasons. Apollo Crews in the back talks about what his match tonight with Finn Balor means, you know, prove myself going forward, rah. Regal is seen in the back, announces after last week's triple threat debacle, we're going to have a match between Zayn and Joe. Baron Corbin bursts in, almost on cue. He's not happy, da-da-da-da-da. And William Regal tells him the only thing that was sure last week was that you tapped out. You're out, they're in, they're having a match. I might have missed it, but I don't think they announced when this is happening. It might be next week, I'm not entirely sure. Best match of the night by a country mile was Asuka versus Santana Garrett, who I'm sure is known in some circles, and if you know who she is, put it down in the box below. If she's been one of those other talents that NXT has used to get over the talents that they have, and I just haven't been paying attention, please let me know, because you guys and I are friends. You guys can give me a little hand if I'm not seeing things that I should be seeing, but this girl's pretty, for the short match that they had, she was pretty good, let me put it that way. Collar and elbow tie-up, and they both back up, and Asuka just smiles, and the girl just lays into her with several forearms and then a slap, and as she slaps, she sort of turns her head, looks at the crowd, big, crazy smile, and loud, vehement, Asuka's gonna kill you chants. To my point about this show being boring, this is the loudest the crowd got all night. Running hip check by Asuka and some Daniel Bryan silly kicks. Oh yes, and a one-punch knockdown on Santana Garrett. Boot and a side Russian leg sweep by Santana. Modified double armbar by Santana. Standing ankle lock by Asuka, which looks nice even though it's kind of awkward looking. Body scissor into an armbar by Asuka. She eventually transitions it into the full Asuka lock and gets the win. Obviously, but this was the match felt like it went maybe 5 minutes, and it was the best thing on the show, which is sad when you consider the next match includes the NXT champion. Anyways, Finn Balor versus Apollo Crews, non-title. They start with a collar and elbow. Here's the thing: the story of this match is headlocks, lots and lots and lots of headlocks. Collar and elbow tie-up, and Balor works the arm. Head and arm lock by Balor. Snapmare into a headlock by Balor. Snapmare into a headlock by Balor. Twice. Snapmare into a headlock by Balor, the third. They keep going through the same sequence. The commentators try to cover it up, say, you know, you got a bigger guy, you got to ground him, rah, but it's just boring, and they're just lying there a lot of the time. And it's just bad. Pin attempts by both men. Crews gets a headlock of his own and a body scissor. Crews finally gets a headlock of his own, but it's countered into a body scissor by Balor. Back to the side headlock. Again, dropkick by Balor as we go into the what NXT's equivalent of a commercial break is. Snapmare and a sleeper by Crews. Both men trade punches and an armbar by Balor. Boot by Balor. Clothesline by Crews. Suicide dive by Balor. Coup de grace to the back of the head of Crews. I will admit, does look nice, but doesn't save the match. Samoan drop by Crews. And then we just have basically both guys go through their finishing sequence. You got the big boot, the gorilla slam into the standing senton by Crews. You got the enziguri, the hesitation dropkick, and the coup de grace by Balor. Balor doesn't go for the pin, wants to get a little extra oomph on it, gets the larger Apollo Crews up for the brainbuster. For reasons, Balor gets the win. Obviously, because here's the deal, and here is my one little qualm with NXT. we know in advance that whoever wins out of Joe and Zayn gets to face Balor for the title. They're not going to throw another... They threw a monkey wrench in last week with the double count and getting Baron Corbin out of the way because he shouldn't have been there. I get that. That's cool. That's fine. It shows that the path that the two remaining contenders took to get to where they need to be for the title shot. I get that. They're not going to have all that schmoz and then throw another, monkey in the mix by having Apollo Crews also have a shot at the title. So you know that Balor is not going to lose this match. Because there's no way they're going to have him go on to face Crews for a title match before the title match that they've been building for longer. You know what I mean? Like I say, nothing bad on this show. A lot of talented people. Emma is talented as hell. Balor and Crews I expected better of. Enzo and Cass could have been fighting anybody but the two jobbers that they were fighting. They built up the vaudevillains, big change, big metamorphosis, whatever they were supposed to be going through, and it turns out, okay, big surprise, they're dicks now. The only thing on this show that really put a legitimate smile on my face was that match between Asuka and Santana Garrett. And when you consider the fact that Santana Garrett is somebody that I have no connection to as a wrestling fan, that's really bad. So on a show that is usually full of hits, they got a miss tonight. I'm sorry, I know, I'm super positive guy. I'm the guy that calls the show great even when it's shit. But tonight it was kind of shit, guys. I don't know what else to tell you. Anyways, I've been Spaz. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.